Hey, welcome back to another PHP 2 video. We're talking about milestones here, and we're at milestone number 2. In the last few videos, we've looked at some of the details of things that you have to include to make this application work like it's supposed to and be designed correctly. We're on number 8 today, which is display the results. And I'm showing you a people search, and I want to borrow some CSS, and you'll find that W3 Schools has a nice formatted table that we can just borrow. So let's come back to our finished app. I'm doing the people search, and I'm going to put in a couple of letters here and search for names. So you can see everybody's got a CA in their name. Now the formatting here is pretty nice. So it's got some nice backgrounds. You can see when I hover over it with a mouse, I'm getting some shading. And so we want to make a table that outputs our results in a very pretty format. So let's go take a look at how this was done. So the person search handler is the item that responds to the form. So let's start with the form that we did input on. So this is the index page. You can see I've got a little bit of CSS styling here in the top, and the form itself is very simple. It just says search for a person, and it has an input submit button. And then it tells me that the handler will be this file right here, which is called person search handler. Let's go look at person search handler. So over here in person search handler, you can see that I've got some code here to print the results on the screen. So first of all, autoloader is needed because I'm calling a new item from a class that's in my probably in my model folder. No, it's in my business service folder. And then once I have the results, I'm putting an array together of persons. And then I want to display the persons. So if we have any persons in the array, then include this file here. Notice it's a partial file. It starts with an underscore, and then it's called display people search results. So let's check that out. It's in the same folder, so display people search results. So here's what it looks like. It says here we're expecting an array of persons, and then we're going to build a table. So let's talk about the CSS in a minute, but we'll come down here to where it says the table. So we are creating a table. The first row of the table is actually the header. So let's see, I'm going to press tab, indent that so it makes it a little more clear. And then down further we can see that we are going to do a loop and go through every person in the list, and I am getting search results. So for the person number X, so X is the loop counter, we want to see the ID, first name, and address, and everything else. So we have a TD to begin each of these, which is a column or column data, I think, or table data. That's what TD stands for. And then TR is the terminator. So it is the table row begin and table row end. Now, if we were to take all of this CSS code out, I'm going to just take the style here and cut it out for a second, save it. Let's go back here and see what it would look like without the styling. It's kind of ugly, but you can see everything's nice and straight. It's in rows. But where did we get the style from? So I did a Google search called CSS Format table, and W3 Schools comes up. So they have an example here, and it looks a lot like the one that I was using, doesn't it? It's got a green header, and let's do try it yourself. And I simply just copied the code that was here and borrowed it as my styling. So let's see. It's using a format called style here, and at the end of it is the close style. So # customers means that the table has to have the name, or it has to have the ID of customers. So if I use that, I can copy it, come back into here. In the header, I paste in the style, and you notice my table ID is set to customers. Now feel free to modify anything in here you like. So for instance, the table header has a background color. This must be the green. So if you want to change it to something else, like if I want to do like a 339, which I know is kind of a grayish green color or blue color, let's save that. Let's come back into our app and refresh. And there it is. It's a blue background this time. You can modify any of the colors you like and the borders and styles of anything. So experiment with whatever you like for your styles and put them in here. So there's some code that you can use for creating a people search. Now the product search is going to look just the same here. The product search handler, it's going to be almost identical. We're going to do the autoloader. We're going to get the name of the product that we're looking for. Instead of the business service for users, we're using the product business service. We go find it by name, we print it out, and we do a display include. So pretty similar to our search for users. Okay, so that kind of brings us to the end here for milestone number 2. If your app is up and running, you've got yourself a database designed, you've got data in it, you've created folder structures that are appropriate, your autoloader is running, and you can display the results with a nice formatted CSS style.